of our nearly 240-year history as a constitutional republic, the right to keep and bear arms was never seriously questioned.
But people notice when every week there is a new story of a school shooting all across the country and Congress does absolutely nothing about it.
The vast majority of murders in this country that are committed with guns are not committed with assault weapons, they're committed with handguns.
It has only been in the last 30 or 40 years that this inalienable right has been challenged.
The Second Amendment is crucial because it prevents the rise of a tyrannical state by giving citizens the means to defend themselves from a potentially oppressive government.
With the history out of the way, let's investigate why some people think that the framers put the Second Amendment into the Constitution.
I think that they wanted people to have the right to bear arms for hunting, for self-defense, and to keep themselves free.
So I think that our forefathers did see opportunities to allow the normal citizen and or group to defend themselves against the government. But you have to keep in mind, though, that was in the 1700s as well. It's very specific in there, talks about a well-regulated militia. And that's what their thought process was, is that we should have the right to create militias to defend our freedoms. It's hard for me to try to second guess what they were thinking back in those days, but I can also tell you that our world has developed beyond the imagination of what they had in their minds.
Recently, there have been many tragedies in the United States that are linked to firearms. Many believe that these would be lessened if more limitations were placed on the Second Amendment. Others are concerned that these limitations would take power away from the people. This reduction of power would make it easier for a corrupted government to take advantage of its citizens, possibly leading to a deadly repetition of our dark history.
I'm fine with restricting the capacity to 10 rounds. I think that doesn't infringe excessively on the right to own guns. But some of the other laws that give me pause would be, some sort of national registry. I think that would be concerning to me.
We are beginning to see anti-gun legislators attempting to restrict certain firearms. Many on the left agree, however, those on the right side of the political spectrum say that it might infringe on their rights. With this in mind, it is important to ask, does the Second Amendment only apply to specific weapons? There are many misconceptions about what the most dangerous weapon is to the common American. Some believe that rifles are the most dangerous and that they are the cause of most deaths. However, in the last 4 years, the average percent of gun murders that were committed by rifles consisted of only 0.035%, according to the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting website. In fact, you are 5 times more likely to be killed with a knife than you are a rifle. It's easy to sympathize with the victims of mass shootings and murders because what happened to them is unjustifiable. However, when it comes to issues concerning the founding ideals of our nation, we must put emotion aside and look what is actually happening from a factual standpoint.
And when we start down the road of picking apart the Constitution to fit a certain political agenda, my friends, we are headed toward a very dark place in government called tyranny.
Every piece of anti-gun legislation passed weakens our power as the people and infringes on our liberties. As the people, we must stop this from happening. For this very reason, the framers put the Second Amendment into the Constitution.